what I thought was a problem with my Michelin tires. And I had some great help from Michelin customer service. The number was a little challenging to find, but once I finally got a hold of the right people in customer service at Michelin, I was able to open a new case for the tire problem I was having, and also have the tires inspected at an authorized Michelin inspection facility, which came from them. That was different than who originally inspected the tires. So I was very grateful to finally speak with somebody at Michelin's customer service, when originally thinking they were pretty horrible, and they were not. I went in, I bought tires in August of 2019, early August, or late August, and then had normal tire rotation servicing. One was postponed due to a little accident, and that was all taken care of by the body shop, and insurance paid for that. So the vehicle had been serviced properly, although the dealership didn't necessarily have those records. I went in for just a normal service on, I think it was August 9th or 10th of 2020. And what ended up happening was the service person came out and said, "You need 2 new tires." And I was shocked. These were the first set of Michelins I've had on this vehicle. Prior to that, I've had this vehicle, I put on a lot of miles. I probably put on 25,000 a year. So it's actually the 3rd set I've had on the vehicle. The first set was Goodyear Eagles, which are not good tires. They were brand new when I bought the vehicle. At 2 years of age, they lasted almost 40,000 miles. Second set was Nitto. They lasted almost 40,000 miles. So I thought it pretty crazy that the most expensive tires I've ever bought were not lasting that amount of time, and significantly less. There wasn't even 20,000 miles on those tires. And I was told by the dealership that I would be receiving a call from their tire guy, who was at another one of the dealership's location, and that somehow this would be resolved. I expected, wow, inside of a year, according to the Michelin warranty that I found online at the time, which is no longer online, that if something happened within the first year, maybe it didn't specifically apply to tread wear, that the tires would be replaced. And I also had a long payment credit card through Synchrony Bank that I had a balance due on the tires. They weren't even paid for completely. And so when I finally heard from this tire guy with the dealership a week later, I was told what a great deal I was getting on a pro rate. And so I expected him to tell me $20 or something, if the tires. And he told me $200 a tire. And I said, no, absolutely 100% not. I will not. At that point, I called Michelin's main number and I said, "Hey, I really need some help with it." And all they said was, "You need the case number." So I put in calls, emails to who I was told was the general manager of the service area of the dealer, which I think was a lie, because that's not who it says is the service manager online. Nobody called me back with this supposed case number. So at that point, I did the only other thing that I thought might work, which was I called the credit card company that the tires were put on initially. And they said they could help. And I was ecstatic and very, very grateful. So they opened up a case about the tires, and it was for 2 of the 4 tires. And I ended up almost immediately getting within a couple days, getting a call from Michelin that I could barely understand the rep, and I couldn't talk at that moment. I was right in the middle of a work Zoom call, and said, could I please call you back? Give me a number, I'll call you back. No, we can't give you a number, we'll call you back. So probably later that day or the following day, I looked online for and I somehow came up with a different Michelin number. So at that point, I called that number, and lo and behold, I was told, I gave the name of the dealership, which is Ed Morse Delray Toyota, and it was somebody from Michelin who was diametrically different than the other two people I had talked to about this, and was very attentive to the issue, and probably didn't even know about the credit card case that had been opened, and immediately told me that they were not an authorized Michelin dealer, and that their Cadillac dealership, which is down the street, was. And I specifically asked, does that blanket authorization apply to all their dealerships? And I was told no. So then I was steaming. And I really don't even know if a case was originally opened with the dealership. I don't really know. And so then I was given a new case number, the representative from Michelin. And again, this was a customer service number at Michelin. I was given a new case number and a new location to take the vehicle to be inspected. So I did that, and I did it within 3 days. When I went there, they asked me for my keys, went and looked at the car, and the guy came back almost laughing. And he said, who inspected this vehicle? And I told him who. And he said, there is nothing wrong with these tires. And I have the written report. The dealership rated them a 1 out of 10, which technically means that they're destroyed, right? The other place that did the inspection rated them at the worst a 7. And the other tires were a little better, probably due to COVID and everything else, maybe 1 or 2 less rotations throughout this, whole thing. And I was blown away. So my issue, which I thought was with Michelin, is not at all with Michelin. It's with the dealers. And I suspect that I'm probably not the only one that it is or has gone through the same thing.